Hello, oof. Hello. What is going on, my friends? I'm Alexandra Herpetic. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. Yay, it is Friday. Who's excited for it to be Friday? I am. I'm excited. Anyways, what is going on? I've been going live with you guys recently. I've been answering your questions. I have a lot of questions about HSV1, HSV2. I have a lot of questions about how I got herpes. I have a lot of questions about how do you get herpes? I have a lot of questions about transmission. So feel free to ask your questions here and I will go through and I will answer them for you. Let's see what Q&A. Okay, someone said, do you still shave? You heard it causes outbreaks. Well, for some people it does. Hey, Autumn, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Do I still shave? So I personally do not shave. I had laser hair removal done. And so I had that done a long time ago. I just had a touch up recently, like 2-3 weeks ago, and it did not cause an outbreak. But it's really interesting. Some people are like, yeah, I shave, it causes an outbreak. Other people are like, I wax, it causes an outbreak. You have to see what works for you. A lot of times irritation or I don't like using the word trauma, but really like a trauma or abrasion to the area can cause irritation, which can sometimes cause an outbreak. Love the hearts. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Autumn, for the hearts. Hey, Alexander, you're doing well. How are you? Today is my anniversary. It's been 6 years already. Oh my gosh, the anniversary you got herpes? 6 years, that's a long time. I'm coming up on my anniversary as well. It's next week. So we're close. I'm on 11 years. Well, we'll be 11 years. So awesome. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, but do I shave? Does it cause outbreaks? I would say for you, see what works for you. It depends on also where you have your outbreak, right? So like for me, I get outbreaks on my tailbone. Oh, with your boyfriend. Oh, 6 years with your boyfriend. Congratulations. I hope you guys go out, have fun, have a fun dinner, enjoy that. So I get herpes on my tailbone. I don't shave my tailbone. So I think it really depends also on where you have your outbreaks. Also, I think it depends on the coarseness of your hair, right? Some people have coarser hair than others. So I think obviously pubic hair is coarse, but it just depends on, some people have like really like curly hair. It just depends. So no worries for the confusion. So that's a really great question. I'm glad someone asked that. How do you join the support group? I have it linked in the bio for you. You can join the support group. It's right there, like join the original herpes support group or something like that. It is a membership. It's a monthly subscription. It's less than $15. It's $14.99 a month. And with that, you get 2 live calls a week. So 2 live Zoom calls. It is the private community. It's not on any social media platform. So it's not like on a Facebook group or anything like that. I use Slack, which keeps it private. You can create your own anonymous name. You can put whatever image you want. And so that keeps it really confidential. Just to arrive, what's going on? We are talking about herpes, HSV1, HSV2. Herpes is extremely common, and it has a huge stigma, has a huge taboo. So many people think that it is like, ew, gross, I'm never gonna get it. And the fact is 2 out of 3 people have HSV1 and 1 out of 6 have HSV2. So a lot of people have herpes. All right, keep asking your questions, guys, specifically if you have your own specific questions, like, I don't know, am I going to transmit it? I've had a lot of mommy questions recently. A lot of people have been asking me, can you get pregnant? Things like that. Oh, that looks really bad. Makes me look, oh, that looks bad. How about we do this? Is that better? So as far as, it's the shame, the moment you said herpes, 20 plus people dropped off. Yeah, the thing about herpes is the name. That's really interesting that you noticed that. It's the name about herpes. It's people don't want to necessarily be associated with, yet we are associated with it. No matter what, people are going to be exposed to it. No matter what, people that you love are going to have it. So whether you have it or not, someone that you love and love deeply and love unconditionally, someone has it. It's a virus that causes bumps. They're annoying, they're frustrating, they are uncomfortable. It can be embarrassing when you get them. It can be like, oh, whatever, I have a herpes outbreak. But that's really all it is. It's just these annoying bumps. So when you look at some other things that we could potentially get that are sexually transmitted, that can be life altering, that can change the course of your life, herpes isn't that big of a deal when it comes to it. How did you find out? Bumps or blood tests? So both. So, and that's a great question about how to be diagnosed, or how do you know you have herpes? There's a couple ways to be diagnosed. So one would be clinically, and that would be you have symptoms, you go to the doctor, and the doctor looks at it and says, it looks like it, based on your symptoms, it's herpes. The downside with that is you can't give a diagnosis of HSV1 or HSV2 because you're not looking at the viral DNA, you're just looking at it. So you don't know what type you have, but you just know you have herpes. Then the next way would be is if you have a swab done. So a swab done is done on the blister. So you have to have an active blister, a visible blister, and you go in there with a Q-tip and you get the viral DNA out, and that's where you would test for that. The downside to that is if you do it too soon or too late, then you would probably test negative. So you have to do it with an active outbreak. And then the third way to be diagnosed with herpes would be through a blood test. So the herpes doesn't live in your blood. What you're looking for is for antibodies. So the antibodies are what can determine if you have HSV1 and HSV2. So those are three ways. So for me personally, I had both. I had a blood test and I had a swab test. So yeah, let me go back. Oh, hey, Laureen's friend. Yay. I'm excited. Welcome. You glad you're not alone? Yeah, nobody's alone here. We all are living with herpes, or know somebody or love somebody with herpes. You have both strains. You get one breakout each year. Had HSV2 for 2 years now. That's great that you only get one outbreak a year. That's really great. It means that your body's doing what it can to keep you from getting outbreaks. I have both types as well. I have HSV1 and HSV2. Wow, this is a lot. I have HSV1 and HSV2. I have HSV1 oral and HSV2 genital. HSV1 oral, I rarely get outbreaks. HSV2, I get frequent outbreaks, or at least I have been recently. Does it hurt? Yeah, they can hurt. Sometimes, everyone's different, and everyone's threshold of pain is different. Mine recently have not been painful at all. They're just more annoying that it's there. It's not a painful experience. However, the first time you get an outbreak, it can be extremely painful. It can be like life-altering painful. Nerve pain, blister pain, it can be quite painful. Let's talk about whitlow on your hands. So yeah, you can actually it's called herpetic whitlow. You can get herpes on your hands. Typically, doctors prior using gloves, like dentists used to have a lot of herpetic whitlow. So instead of getting it orally or vaginally or ocularly, some people have it on their hands. It's not we get a blister or cut, and that's what it is. It's called herpetic whitlow. Sorry for the yawn. Let's talk about, 90% of Hollywood actors and actresses have it. Yeah, probably. I don't know, obviously. They haven't called me up and told me. But yeah, I would assume that they do. Not just Hollywood actors and actresses, everybody. And that includes actors and actresses. That includes influential people in the world. That includes the royals. That includes, everybody that's influential. And us commoners, we have herpes. It is part of living life. 80% of the population is going to end up with it. 90% of the population is exposed to it by the age of 50. Can it be passed along to your children from the father or the mother? No, so it's not living in our bodies. It's not like a fluid. It's not passed in utero. It's not transmitted that way. It's skin-to-skin transmission. So can a parent pass it to their child? Yes, but it's skin-to-skin transmission. Just like a grandparent could transmit it, just like someone at school could transmit it. So it's normal transmission. It's not passed through our genes. Will my next outbreak be as bad as this one? It was really bad. I'm sure your first one was awful. Most of them are debilitating. No, it should not be as bad. They will continue to decline in pain, in severity. All that will most likely continue to decline, especially too if you are taking supplements that can help it. Like if you are boosting your immune system, and also lysine and monolaurin are really great supplements to help support herpes outbreaks as well as viruses. So those things can help with speeding up recovery and just fighting viruses. Have you always had bad outbreaks? I haven't really had bad outbreaks for a number of years. My first couple ones were bad, and now at this point they're just little paper cuts. They're not a big deal. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for the answer. Don't be sorry for all the questions. Keep asking me the questions. I love them. Do I worry about passing it to partners? I did when I was dating and I was first diagnosed. Of course I worried. Like when you're dating, you're just in a new relationship and you don't want to worry about anything like that. Like just enjoy being in the relationship. Now at this point with my husband and my son, I don't worry about it. Is it on my mind from time to time? Yeah, but it's not something I'm worried about. I'm aware of it. My husband's not worried about it, and my son's not really going to come in contact with my genitals, and I do kiss my son, but I'm very aware of like if I have any prodrome or if I have an outbreak. Why not take suppressive therapy? I've personally decided I just don't want to. There's been times in my life or seasons in my life that I have. So there's been times like when I was first diagnosed, I was on it. When I was dating, I took it consistently for 3 years. When I was in my last few weeks of my pregnancy, I took it so I wouldn't transmit it to my son during delivery. This last fall, we were moving around. We were like in 3 different houses, remodeling a house. We went to like back-to-back weddings, whatever. I took it because my body was just, I couldn't like shake it. I was just back-to-back outbreak. So there's seasons when I will take it, but I feel that my body is strong enough to prevent outbreaks. And so I do what I can to increase my immune system and prevent it. Mom said, come home right now, you're in trouble. Okay. If mother gives birth during an outbreak, she can cause blindness to her child. Yeah, you're right. It's called neonatal herpes. And yeah, it can actually cause blindness to the child. So it is something that you'll want to talk to your doctor and get on the same page with your doctor and your partner and figure out what you guys feel comfortable with. For me personally, I felt comfortable having a vaginal birth. That was something that was important to me. And my doctor informed me based on my personal medical history that I had a less than 1% chance of transmitting it to Clinton. So I took that risk. But some mothers may not want to take that risk. Some doctors may not want to take that risk. It's really up to you and your doctor and getting on the same page. How do you approach this topic with dating? I was talking about this yesterday. I like to remember that dating is dating. It doesn't mean sleeping with each other. It doesn't mean marrying the person. It's a date. It's going out for coffee. It's going out for dinner. It's talking on the phone. It's meeting for breakfast. It's whatever. It's watching a Netflix, whatever. It's when we want to become sexually active with that person is when it changes and when we should have the disclosure. So date, have fun, do what you want. And when you are ready to be intimate with that person is when you have the conversation. And I like to say lead with sexual health. Let's talk about our sexual health. Let's go to the next level. What do you want to do? How do you want to proceed? Let's talk about birth control. Are you seeing other people? Are you not seeing other people? Am I seeing other people? Am I not seeing other people? What are we doing here? Let's both go get tested. And the reason why it's really important for me that we both go get tested is because that I actually have herpes, I have HSV, whatever, and the reason why I most likely have it is I didn't ask my past partners to get tested, and I learned from that mistake, and I don't want to put anyone else through that, and I want to make sure I'm not carrying anything else so I don't transmit it to you. So make it very educational, not like, I have this, will you please accept me? I've been bad, I'm sinful, I don't deserve you, you're perfect, are you going to accept me? We don't want to lead with that type of energy, basically. Thank you for sharing your story. I know it's a lot. Thank you. You're asymptomatic, but does tingling without any outbreaks ever mean I'm having symptoms? That's called a prodrome symptom. So tingles is part of herpes. You may or may not be contagious. That's the unfortunate thing. We don't really know. It could be symptomatic shedding. And it might, me personally, and what I've been advised from the medical community is if you do feel like you have tingles, prodrome, and all that, abstain from putting someone at risk of contacting it. So abstain from sex or whatever it is. It might mean that you're contagious. Have you had someone swab test positive with HSV1, but then blood test and they're HSV2? So they don't switch. HSV1 doesn't become HSV2 and HSV2 doesn't become HSV1. So it'll always be HSV1, it'll always be HSV2. It sounds like you have some miscommunication on your test. It sounds like you need to go back and get retested for herpes. So it sounds like something went wrong there or there's a miscommunication. Let me see if I have any more Q&A questions. Okay, looks like I have gotten through them. Keep asking your questions, you guys, and I will answer them. Yeah, so we're coming up on my anniversary when I was diagnosed with herpes. It's actually this next week. I call it my oh shit anniversary. It's when I was diagnosed with herpes, and it literally was oh shit. Like I'm sure a lot of you know. And it was a very scary time, especially going through like the diagnosis week. It was a lot. Your partner has HSV2. Are there any preventative? The best thing that your partner could do is communicate with you on when you're having outbreaks. So, or he's having, or she, or your partner is having outbreaks. If your partner wants to take the antiviral, that's also going to be a great way to prevent transmission to you. It's FDA proven and it lowers the transmission risk. Also, taking lysine is going to be really helpful. This is the lysine that I personally use. It's Palmera Health. Taking lysine is also going to help keep the virus out of replication mode. I do have this linked for you in the bio. So taking lysine, and this is for people with herpes. It's a protein that's very, very, very helpful. And I would say those couple of things would be great. Measures I should be taking: testing. We use protection always too. Yeah, I would just continue to get tested. Make sure your partner informs you if he or she has outbreaks. If we haven't started dating, are there platforms we can use to date those with the condition? There are some. I've been a spokesperson for some of them. It's Meet People with Herpes, or I think Meet People with Herpes. It's the largest herpes dating platform. I would say if that's something you want to do, great, but don't feel like you have to put yourself in a corner and only date people with herpes. It's not something you have to do. You're welcome. Positive singles. That's another good one. When I was diagnosed a year ago, I was swabbed for HSV1 months later with having no issues. I'm glad you're not having issues. That's good. I mean, it's unfortunate that, of course, your swab test came back positive. All right, my friends, have a great Friday. I'm excited. I'm like, have a great holiday weekend. We're not there yet. It's next weekend. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being you. I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend and keep asking your questions.